Good morning, good morning, good morning. It's Ken at 10. I'm back. Sorry, I haven't been around on the allotted times the last couple of days, but as some of you will know, been away on a sales conference with some fantastic agents up and down the country. Learned huge amounts, come away with huge perspective from all over the country on agency, what's going on. And what seems to be going on, quite a lot of agents, especially in rural locations and out of London, are experiencing huge upticks in interest as a lot of Londoners are now looking to commute out. And there is a bit of an exodus. People are, deciding to take their commute from Eastbourne or, Dartmouth even, which has been proving hugely popular. It's absolutely amazing. So what's going on? Those of you that haven't been before, virtually nice to meet you. My name's Ken. I always broadcast at 10, hence the name Ken at 10. We're James Alexander Estate Agents. We're based in Southwest 16, Southwest London. And today is grey and overcast. It's not hotter than anywhere, I'm afraid, but there we are. Few things going on generally today. Spain, restrictions back on after a spike. Now there's a quarantine. They're talking about whether that applies to the islands. My heart goes out to you if you're a bit stuck. And I understand that it won't necessarily mean that your employer has to pay you either if you have to quarantine when you come back. A little bit frustrating. Last weekend of football as well. I know some of you will love that and some of you will hate it. Man U and Chelsea reaching the Champions League. Fantastic news if you're a Chelsea fan like me. And also Aston Villa, my wife's team, they made it. They managed to stay up by the skin of their teeth, literally. But pleased for them and obviously for my wife as well. Other things, questions. I always think of what questions we can ask and what's going on with the market generally. And one of the things that comes up a lot is it worth making a change before I sell? And the answer is, it depends. And I know that's an ambiguous answer and we need to be more explicit and specific in the reply, but it does depend. It depends on what you have, where you are, and who your buyer is. And sometimes who your buyer is something a lot of agents lose sight of. So in other words, if your buyer is someone that's looking for a development project, then their requirement in terms of presentation might be very low. If you're looking for someone who perhaps is a young couple and you're selling a 3-bedroom conversion flat, then you probably need to look at dressing that 3rd bedroom as an office or show how it can be an office, because realistically, they probably won't use that 3rd bedroom for anything else. So, sometimes we get the question, should I dress this room as this or that? And it does depend who your buyer is. And we'd like to give you some specific advice on that. Good morning to you, the Property Jungle. And that specific advice comes down to when we come on a viewing with you, on a valuation visit that is, then we'll look around, we'll get some ideas and give you some general hints, tips and tricks. And then when you actually signed up with us, we get more explicit and start talking about drilling down to changes that you might make that might assist in the sale and certainly will help wherever we can before we get the pro in, take the shots, before we do the video. And sometimes there are no changes required. Other times there are advised changes and other things. Other times I think, well, really, if you want to hit this particular price point on this property, it's really important that you actually do X, Y, and Z. And, one of the things that we pride ourselves on here is being real, not just telling it like you want to hear it. If we see a property and we think it's not right, we'll tell you why it's not right. One of the things I noticed on my Homes Under the Hammer appearances, which are many, as many of you will know, I do Southwest London regularly, is that that's a good news program. And they like to hear all the good news about property, as we all do. And it makes for a fun show. But the reality is if you're selling, you need more specific and honest and real advice. And sometimes that's not easy, but it's much, much better in the long run to get it right initially, because that will achieve a better price for you in the end if the appeal is right. So if you need a valuation and you're thinking about selling, then before you bring us round, think about that and think before you make major changes, actually, we'd like to talk to you first. Much better, get me round. I'll give you a general idea of what I think you should and shouldn't do. And that's pre-marketing, and then we can come up with a plan. And our plan, unlike other agents, is not just about, I'll take some photos, put it on the market. It varies according to your circumstances. One of the things about being an independent agent that I love is that I consider us like a 360-degree service as opposed to 180. 180 meaning that we take your house, we sell it for you. That's what all agents do. But we take your house, we sell it for you, but we'll also negotiate for you on the house you're buying and help to close that deal, including providing you with comparable evidence, telling you where we think the price point is on the property you're looking at, and happily calling the agent or seller so that we negotiate directly for you, because I know a lot of you are uncomfortable with that. And that's what we're expert at, is negotiation. That's why you employ us. And with 30 years of experience in doing that, I'm best placed to help you do it. So if you're thinking about selling and you want a 360-degree service, then you're in the right place. Apart from that, busy week on the cards, lots of valuations coming up. One in a minute, so got to go now. And the rest of the week's looking pretty good. We've got the auction lot. We've just been up in Hastings showing our auction lot. Lots of interest in that. And generally, some offers coming in this morning. Lots of lettings going on, people moving in. So things are busy. Hope you're well. Hope you have a fantastic day. And that's it for today's Ken at 10. I'll see you tomorrow, same time, same place. Take care.